Hey, Suburban readers and Suburban viewers, welcome to Suburban on Air. This is Beryl Wiseman, editor of the paper, and I'm here on Green Avenue in Westmount, standing in front of Nick's restaurant, or restaurant Chez Nick, to satisfy the OQLF. Nick's has been in this location for 100 years, surviving wars, pandemics, and everything you can imagine. But the other day they had a new run-in, and a new challenge, and a new defeat, as they say, when two SPVM inspectors came in ostensibly to look at their liquor supply. They said they were liquor inspectors. And this is the interior of Nick's, where when times are normal, everything goes on. You want politics, you want business, you want the arts, everything is done in these banquettes. To satisfy the regulations, they took out the banquettes in the middle, and now they have these tables, two of which they had outside, which caused such consternation from the inspectors. 100 years in this location. Nick's is only the second restaurant in Montreal to celebrate its centenary at the same location. And this is where everything happens in normal times. Out of sheer frustration, after the visit from the SPVM inspectors, Nick's owners, ROB CALLARD, put out this chair on top of a table. And as you could see, they've got their message very clearly written on the hypocrisy of the government. But more than that, the restaurant is suffering from guidelines that are confusing, enforced by just about everybody, nothing clear, and no real statistics to help our industry that now has 76,000 unemployed people just in Montreal and Laval alone. And this little display of frustration by the owners of Chez Nick is attracting attention, as you can see. Couples are stopping by, people are stopping by, and they're actually taking pictures of the chair and the table. We can only hope that this kind of message gets across to the authorities, because as you can see down the street, there are people sitting at benches. Across the street, there are people sitting at chairs. And as you'll see later in the report, there are tables all around Westmount and Sherbrooke, Victoria, with nobody bothering anybody. And right now, I'm standing outside of Nick's with co-owner ROB CALLARD. As I told you, it's a 100-year-old establishment, but more than that, it's a heartbeat of Westmount and of much of Montreal. Things that happen here in the morning over breakfast with the world of arts, politics, and business, unparalleled in the city, and they've been through the struggle like every other restaurant. And then the other day, they had this crazy visit that led to these pictures, which you see earlier in the report. Rob, what happened the other day that led to this?
Well, basically, we had two inspectors come in on the premise that they were checking our liquor permit. But we had a couple of tables set outside just for people to enjoy their takeout food. We weren't serving. They were spaced apart, a good 8 feet apart. And they came in and were quite aggressive in that they wanted us to get the tables in, because there was to be no congregating outside whatsoever.
And these tables were just small tables like this for two people. It wasn't more than that, and they were spaced apart.
Spaced apart, two people, only eating takeout in their takeout containers. We weren't serving. And so I basically made the argument that people were able to sit on the benches on the street. And they basically said, no congregating, we could give you a $5,000 fine. And I said, well, you know, it doesn't make any sense to me at all that we can't let our customers enjoy a seat out on the street, not being in anyone's way, properly distancing. And so that night I got to thinking, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to put an empty chair outside and make it a peaceful, symbolic protest that the government's not letting us open, although they have no proof whatsoever, to the best of my knowledge, that restaurants are the source of infection.
Have you asked the city of Westmount for guidance, because they actually control what's on the sidewalks, whether they can intervene or they can issue some guidelines, because there's certainly different guidelines for different places around Westmount?
Right. Well, I haven't asked the city for their opinion on this, because I thought that the direction we're getting is from the provincial government. So it's certainly something I could consider. I don't know what the city could do, because these are laws or rules that Mr. Legault is handing down. about distancing outside and congregating and whatnot. But like I said, I think my argument is that I wasn't doing anything to put anyone at danger.
That anybody else wasn't doing. Well, Rob, we wish you luck, and
Thank
we
you.
hope that there's some sense and sensibility that comes through all levels of government, and that the guidelines become clear. And frankly, as Premier Ford has asked in Ontario, he wants some hard facts, he wants some hard evidence to keep restaurants closed. Public Health Director Arruda said on September 25th, there is no sign of cases from restaurants or cinemas, and 2 days later he closed down restaurants and cinemas, or 3 days later. And this, with everything people are going through, this is more than the public, frankly, should be subjected to. Rob Callard, good luck.
Thank
We're
you,
with
Rob.
you. And suburban viewers and readers, thank you very much, and I'll see you next time.